I was just thinking about if I'm the right person to discuss in this panel that is toward the offensive strategy, because I'm going especially to talking about, to focalize about some lock points, some unsolved question towards the common. Or probably other way, this could be a way to testify, to prove our tools toward the commons. I say that because I'm not sure at all that the process towards the commons is a smooth way. No, I don't think so. I think, on the contrary, that the common is something that is at stake. It's something that we have to achieve between some different, in a different balance of power. But I think that I should put myself in the debate, because as also this morning come out, but always when we're talking about common, the idea about this concept are very heterogeneous. So I just would like to put myself what I mean when I'm talking about the common. And when talking about common, I refer on a process. I refer, as several of you say this morning, about the commoning. So a process to being in common. This I say that because talking about the idea of a process, we can focalize the balance of power in between we are. But especially talking about the common as a process, give me the possibility to talking about it as the place for the composition of the living labor, and in the same time as the place where the autonomy of the living labor could take place. And so I said could. I would like to stress the idea of could, because I would like to repeat, the common is not something that is done, but it's something that we should try, we should fight for, something that we should fight for produce. So I would like to rephrase a bit the statement of in the poster of this meeting, where I read there is no common goods without commoning. That, of course, I agree. But I would like also to say, probably following the suggestion that Chantal gave us, just to try to thinking about also class struggle, I would like to rephrase this statement in saying there is no common without struggle for the common. And of course, the reference on the famous Mario Tronti's idea of there is no class without class struggle come out. So, talking about the balance of power I was referring, I would like to clarify what I'm talking about. So, on the one hand, we have the possibility of the autonomy of the living labor that is at stake, and on the other hand, we have the continuous process of capture and cooptation of the capital. And at the common, we are able to produce the common. We have to think about the production of the common exactly in between this balance of power. So, just to try to don't go too long, I would like to moving forward at least two lock point works as idea di punto di blocco. Yes, as two lock points. The ones that refer on the subjectivity, and the other one that refer on the relation with the states. The first one about the subjectivity. The subjectivity of the common are not something that is done, are not something that exists for themselves, but is again something that is part of the social relationship, power relationship. Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you. And if I think about what, for example, is going on in Italy, where in front of the crisis, the strong neoliberal crisis we are facing, there is any kind of ability to produce common subjectivity. That is to say, subjectivity that are able to be in common, to cooperate. What is seen to me, what seemed to us as part of a larger discussion, of course, is that, especially within the crisis, at least in Italy, what is prevails, what is how subjectivity works is more on the side on the egoistic side than on the cooperative one. This could be part of an effect of the crisis. Of course, we are always talking about concepts that are very located concepts that we cannot universalize, I think. But of course, it seems that in Italy, the subjectivity needs to live in a safe space, don't take enough care of the others. Probably, and this is a problem, if we don't solve this question, if we are not able to produce subjectivity of the common, we cannot produce the common. This is a stake, again. On the other hand, people from Greece today explain us the great experiences of the... okay, I'm going to finish there. The experience of the self-health clinics is okay, I will say that. And in that way, it seems different than what I was saying, that there are subjectivity able to cooperate. There are subjectivity in some way that are trying to be in common, at least trying to. But then the problem, and this is my second point, my second lock point, the problem is in the relation with the state. The problem is to at least, in my opinion, probably people from Greece can stress other points, but starting from my experiences, especially when we manage some issues related to care, we should face the problem to substitute ourselves to something, to the state. And this problem, I would like to talking about that as a problem of subsidiarity, exactly, thank you. And I think this is another issue we should thinking about toward an offensive of the common. Last point, that is something that also followed part of the discussion of this morning, at least what was mentioned this morning, and that I would like to stress the centrality of the social reproduction when we're talking about the common. Especially if we, of course, since I repeat, concepts are located, concepts are determined from this. We cannot talking about a concept in abstract. Today, common means especially working toward issues that refer on reproduction, on labor of reproduction, health, education, at least. There works around. So I would like just to stress that when we talking about the production of the common, we should start more than we have do since now to focus on reproductive issues.